You might think melodies are what you've been clicking in on your cracked version of FL Studio, but they've been with you for a lot longer. Just think about it. Almost every single song you've ever heard starts with what? And it's not just songs too. National anthems in churches, lullabies, your ABCs, it's all melodies. In fact, melodies are so powerful. I can play just one note on the piano, and you might already know what song it is. So today, we're going over why your melodies matter more than you might think, what really makes a good melody, and some of the best ways to make melodies I guarantee you haven't tried before. Alright, so why do melodies even matter? Think about yourself. You probably have a favorite song or maybe even a beat that you've made right now. Now think of the melody of whatever that is. See how you can instantly memorize the melody and the feeling of it? You could probably even hum out the entire thing if you wanted. Melodies are so important because they're really good at tapping into the emotions of melodies. I could have a regular ass drum pattern, and you won't think anything of it until I add a So obviously, melodies do matter, but even so, something probably matters a little bit more to you and I, which is how to make good melodies. What makes a good melody has been debated by the scholars of the beat-making community for a millennium. You might wonder, is it knowing music theory, having the right sounds or VSTs, or is it just focusing on what you think sounds good and not even caring about any of that? The answer lies in the very flaw of this topic in the first place, which is thinking of creating melodies as a problem that needs to be solved. Like there's some formula or secret method you need to know to make good melodies. But what if the problem isn't what you don't know, but how you've been approaching your melodies in the first place? Instead of searching for some hidden formula, what if you focused on what inspires you? Have you ever realized how easy it is to create once you have something that inspires you? Maybe it's like a sample that you found or some melody that you've been humming in your head all day. I think it's exactly why there's so much debate with no universal answer. It's because we're all inspired by different things. So instead of sitting here trying to teach you some secret formula only top 1% of industry producers know, I put together some of my favorite ways to find that inspiration to create and actually enjoy the process of making melodies. These are tips, tricks, and formulas that have helped me a ton whenever I feel stuck, and I think they'll help you create some of your best work as well. Let's get into it. So the first tip I want to talk about is your sound selection, and more specifically having unique one-shots or multi-shots to create your melodies with. So right now I have a piano, and then I have a multi-shot that I designed. So I'm just going to build a melody with the piano. Alright, so we got this. It sounds cool, but listen to what happens when we just copy and paste this into the multi-shot. There's just so much more going on. Just the tonality and the texture within the multi-shot itself adds so much more to the melody, and I feel like I have a lot more room to experiment, like routing that to a channel, adding some halftime to it. But yeah, I just find it a lot easier to create once I have some sort of unique sound that I can build with. And if you guys are interested in a free kit with over 300 new sounds, including a bunch of multi-shots like this, I'll put a link to the 100K community kit in the description if you guys don't have it already. But moving on into the next tip, we have counter melodies. So here's a formula that I use for my counter melodies that really helps a lot with finding inspiration and also making sure that they sound good with whatever you're making. So we have this melody here. And now the first step is to find what scale you're in. To do this, you could use a key finder, but if you know a little bit of music theory, then you can find it yourself. So we're on E minor. And once you know all the notes in your scale, then you want to find the notes within your scale that sound good with your melody. You don't have to worry about playing them in order yet, just try to find the notes that really sound good. So I have these 4 notes here. And now once you have your notes, then you want to play them in an order that sounds good. And then you can just mess around with the timing and octaves. And now after following that, this is what we got. And I personally love using this when I have a melody that I'm just like on the verge of scratching, because usually when I just follow this formula with the counter melody, it ends up saving it. Before we move into the next tip, I want to give a big shout out to Suno for sponsoring this video. As producers, I think we can all relate to having an idea for a beat, but bringing that idea to life is always tricky. And if you're a perfectionist with your music like me, you know that it can be really time consuming. That's why I've been trying out Suno to bring my ideas to life. Just take a listen to how easy this is to do. So I have this melody I've been working on. And I have this idea for a vocal that I want to add to this. So first, I'm just going to hum out the idea. And now we'll just save that, go into Suno, upload our idea. Then once it's uploaded, we'll just come here, create cover song. We'll put this on instrumental mode. And now I'm pretty much just gonna describe the idea I have to Suno. Vocals with harmonies, soft, ambient. And we'll just press create. That's fire. So we'll just download these, drag them into FL Studio, and then we'll extract the stems just so we have a bit more versatility to experiment with. And now that we have those, we'll combine the original idea with what we created in Suno and just mess around until it's something that we like. I wasn't even thinking of adding any guitar, but that's so fire. I gotta use that. In just a few minutes, we were able to bring an idea to life through using Suno. So I'll put a link in the description if you guys want to go use Suno in your workflow. The next tip I want to share with you guys is creating your own mixer effect presets. So right now I have this one shot. And now I'm just going to route it to a channel. Now take a listen. Let's play some chords. Chords with the normal one shot. Sounds pretty good. When we route it to that channel, a lot crazier. This was through creating mixer effect presets. So pretty much what you do is you add a bunch of different effect VSTs on your mixer track, and then you just come here, go to File, save mixer track state as, and then save it wherever you want, and you can pretty much create all of your own mixer effect presets that you can just drag on and experiment with one-shots, melodies, whatever you want really. This is pretty much like multi-shots on crack, but I especially love this, but this especially gives me inspiration because when I just have a basic one-shot, I can just go through all these mixer track presets that I created and then just drag and drop them. And then I almost have like a completely new sound to experiment with. In fact, you know what? Let's just build one from scratch right here. Kind of want to start off with a guitar. And we'll just experiment with different effect VSTs. I'll start off with auto chroma. Got some delay on it. Want to kind of get that vintage tone, so I'll add some reels to it. Maybe a little halftime, put the mix down. And then now that we have that, we'll just come over here, right click, file, save it. And just from doing that, we went from this normal, regular one shot to this. right, so moving into the final tip, we have flipping your own melodies. So sometimes we don't feel like creating something from scratch, or we have created something but we don't know what direction we want to go with it. And I feel like during that time is a great opportunity to try flipping your own melodies. So I like using one of these three methods when it comes to flipping melodies. The first method that I want to talk about is using Fruity Slicer. So say that you have a melody that you made. If you want to add that sampled and chopped effect to it, all you have to do is just render that out. And then once you have that, you can right click on the audio file and then open it in a new Fruity Slicer channel. Now, once you're in here, you want to go to the box cutter here, put it on beat, go to the piano, put that on normal or reverse, and then put the attack up just a little bit so that there's no clicking in the beginning. And what that'll do is it'll put all these chops into Fruity Slicer that you can now mess around with and then arrange to your liking. Always like putting it on reverse and then coming up to this pitch shift and putting that up. But you can see you like have that chopped effect to it now. The next method is the double reverse formula. Once again, we have a melody. I don't really know what direction I want to go with it. So the first thing I'll do is just render it out. Then I'll take that audio file and then reverse it. And then I'll go back into the piano roll, do Control A and then Alt Y. And then that's gonna flip the entire progression like we reversed it, but not the same as just reversing the audio file. Make sure we just flip it horizontally, click accept, and then we'll just combine these. And from doing that, you can go from this into this. It depends on you on which version you like better, but this is just a pretty easy way to switch up your melody entirely. And then the last method I have for you is just utilizing effect VSTs, specifically granulizer VSTs and Shaper Box. I pretty much swear by using Shaper Box and Portal together. I pretty much use those two VSTs on a lot of my on all my melodies. The Shaper Box presets are really good, just the stock presets, and Portal, a lot of producers make Portal banks, so you can go cop some of those too. So to show you this, I have this piano that I made here. It's pretty fire, but it's just a little too basic and I don't know what direction I want to go with it. So I'll just route that to a channel, add a little bit of Portal and Shaper Box to it with some thermal in there too, and then just render that out. Now we have this audio clip, which I'll pitch up. So now we're just starting to get somewhere, and now we'll route that to a channel and then just go to this stock Shaper Box preset, downbeat 2. Now that we have that, we'll just chop it up. And I feel like that's so much of a, it's a lot better of a starting point to add your melodies when you have something unique that you actually resonate with. And just from using Shaper Box, Portal, we're able to create this. So to wrap it up, those are some of my favorite tips, tricks, and formulas to create melodies. Remember that there's no really right way to make good melodies. There's really only your way. The best melodies will come from what you're inspired with, which is completely unique to you. If you guys did enjoy this video, I'd appreciate it if you dropped a like, maybe even subscribed. And you can also tap in with me on Instagram at ProdLucent. Link in the description to go check out Suno. Shout out to Suno. And you can also go check out the 100K community kit, which is free down there too. But in total, that's gonna wrap it up for me. I'll catch you on the next one. I'm out.